morning.
Good morning, sir.
Sound ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ? ನೋಡಿ ನೈನಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹೆಡ್ಸೆಟ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ
Hello, good morning, sir.
ಇದೆ ಕಣ. ಇದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡು ಸೌಂಡು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ನೈನಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಶಶಿ, ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಶಶಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೆಡ್ಸೆಟ್
ನೀವ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹುಡುಗರು ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳಿ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್.
ಯೂಸ್ ಫೋನ್ ಆಡಿಯೋ
ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಯೂಸ್ ಫೋನ್ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಬೇಡ, ಬನ್ನಿ ಸರ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬನ್ನಿ.
ಪಿಚ್ಚಿ ಕೀಲ ಕೊಡ್ರಂಗೆ ಬೇಕು.
ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಬೇಡ, ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಇದು ಬೇಡ, ಇದು ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡಿ ನೋಡ. ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿ.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, some technical problem as I connected with LCD and there's both the things as Varsha, the first attending the class in offline today. Okay, we'll start with that. First, the thing is like this. First, we'll discuss something in a mini project. That is the mini project demo, that is PBL, the project based learning demo of an open day. It has been postponed to December 5th. So it's very clear. Just once again, I'll review that. I got a message in yesterday late night. That's why I didn't inform you. Yeah, it's postponed to the December 4th. Sorry, it's not 5th. It's postponed to the December 4th. Now, December 4th will be the open day. Till then, you have to submit the report. That is also important. We doesn't miss anything here. As I told you that 25th below means this November 25th you have to submit the reports. So reports should be completed. Within that, you can send me the draft copy for a correction and all. We will check once. Both Sridevi madam and myself will check once, and then we will correct things and we'll send you back. So final report should be submitted on this November 25th. So any objections, any problem is there, you can talk to me. And anything improvement is there in your projects, you can do the thing. Why? Because now the short time of only 3 days has been gone out. So still December 4th time is there. Poster, PPT, everything prepare. It must be ready and sharpen your projects. Anything is left out, small things is left out and all. Don't leave now. Don't relax now. This is very much important. If you relax now, what happens? No, you will get you will miss the touch with your projects and all. So what I mean to tell you that you enhance any one feature more in that. Why? Because you got a lot of time now. At least you think in an innovative method that something you can change in your project. Gaurish, Is there? Is there? Gaurish? Pratibha? Pratibha? Gaurish? Pratibha? What happened to them? Why they are not attending the classes? Okay, don't tell them to don't worry about the things what has happened. I'm not like that, right? So I will give another chance to them. Till time is there, so not at all a problem. You Tejaswini,
Yes, sir.
ಪ್ರತಿಭಾಗ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡು ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರತಿಭಾ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಗೌರಿ
ಸರ್ ಪ್ರತಿಭಾಗೆ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ವಂತೆ
ಹಾ
ಸರ್.
ಕೇಳಿ ಇವಳಿಗೆ ಹಲೋ
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹಲೋ
ಹಲೋ.
ಸರಿ ಗೌರೀಶ್ ಗಂಗೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ
ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ. ಪ್ರತಿಭಾ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರೋದು.
ಸರಿಯಪ್ಪ ಆಯ್ತು ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಗೌರೀಶ್
Yes, sir. I'll inform him, sir.
Okay, pa, done. Now back here with the things. So, any other doubts is there in respect of a mini project? You can ask me. So, I'm very clear. Once again, I'm telling that the PBL open day demo, college level demo, it has been postponed to December 4th, where you are having a lot of a time. Sharpen your projects, you add up a features, and you know that you are presenting in a college level. That is very much important, and you are presenting through our department. So our department name and fame will be there in that particular project. So you must sharpen your projects. You add a features. Any doubt is there still? I will tell even Chandrakant sir also, and another guy is there, so I will tell him also. So if you want, you will have another one session with them. Let them do. Otherwise, I will tell even Chandrakant to come one day to the college. Whole day it will be meant for you with your problem solving session. Saturdays like that. Anyway, offline has been started. So you please think on this particular thing. This Saturday, if you tell, "Sir, this Saturday we are ready," not at all a problem. Whatever problems is there with your projects, if you bring here, I will call him also. He may. I don't know that whether he will come or not. I'll try. I'll try. So 90% he will listen to me. He will come. So whether we'll fix which day will be free. Most probably Saturday, Sunday will be free. Based on that, we can go through the things. So you must be very means you should tell very clearly that with Saturdays is very it's not so long day. Means today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Only 3 days is left out. So if I we should talk to him and arranging the things and all, it will take time for me. So anybody having a problem in a project, definitely you should tell to me that how we can deal with that. I will tell you. Anybody problem is there in your projects? Nim project in problem. So anybody having a problem with your project?
No, sir.
Yeah. See, now you are not talking means no problem. So in front of the college authorities, we shouldn't bend our head. So I'm telling very clearly. Sharpen your projects, you can do it. Right. So 25th is the date to submit even a report. Today I will send you one report like the poster. I'll send you a report. 25th we'll keep. We'll see here and there. So you do the reports. Now come back to the IoT class. We'll start with an IoT class where we have stopped. So I'm going to start with a PPT presentation. Yeah. Now back with the in a last class what we had discussed and all. As we started with an fourth unit, as I told you that fourth in a third unit we have discussed all the technological terms and device management and how our devices will work and how our gateways will work, and then how our different other technologies like networks will work, and how the in a network how the capillary networks LAN and WAN will work, and then how about the data management and knowledge frames. All we have discussed, and I have told you that unit 4 is there within a reference architectures. So as I told you that two reference architectures will be there, which we are going to discuss. That is an ETSI architecture, and as well as we are going to discuss the IoT architecture. So these are the two world level standard architectures which is there to meant for an IoT and an M2M project. Why, you can ask me the question, sir, why I can do my project as I wish. So why these standardizations is needed and all, this question arises always. See, in a worldwide, we are following, we in our IoT projects, we are having some heterogeneous things. That is, we will place some sensors, the connectivity between a sensors and devices, the connectivity between a device and a gateway, and the connectivity, and we especially we are using a networks. After using a networks, finally we can use some mobile apps and all. So here it is an heterogeneous. So when it is an heterogeneous, if everyone will do in a different ways, so how these particular things will become a standardization in an entire world. So to make a standardization of an IoT project and an M2M project, these two standards has been evolved. And if we follow like in a TCP/IP architecture, how we'll follow the TCP/IP, the same concept, worldwide internet is available now. So it may be either you are using a MacBook, either you are using an Intel, either you are using an ARM, whatever architectures and whatever operating systems if you are using, and every operating system can be connected to internet here. That means that it's a standard, means all the operating systems knows about TCP/IP architecture. Like that, when we are doing an IoT projects with our M2M projects, we should follow some standardizations that we had discussed in a last class, and we have gone with this particular ETSI M2M high level architecture. In that we have discussed the bootstrap function as well as authentication server. Now coming to the concept of a diagram, here you can observe here the entire high-level architecture has been divided into the two parts, that is device gateway domain as well as network domain. So this also we have discussed in a last class, and you can see how this particular the shape means in a device and a gateway domain, what are the things which we are going to take into the consideration. That is M2M devices within a boundary, whatever a M2M devices is there with separated devices or a gateway devices and all. So for connecting that, again we are using a network here. But in a network domain, the access network will be there. So that is very much important. That we had discussed in our last class also. What is the access network and what actually the M2M device networks. So these two things will be separated here, and it will be taken to the network domain. In a network domain, again coming to here, you can see how main things will be taken into the consideration. So in depth, if you want to discuss on this particular thing. Now, according to the figure, you can see an M2M node can be a device M2M, or a gateway M2M, or a network M2M, or a node. So here first we'll decide that the M2M node, what is a node actually? So let it be a device with a sensors or gateway which is connecting to the network, or even a network model, Wi-Fi model what you are going to use, or any LAN model, Ethernet model what you are going to use, or a GPS model what you are going to use, or some GPRS modules what you are going to use in your projects. So that's the one particular thing, and then you can see here an M2M application is the main application logic that uses the service capabilities to achieve the M2M system requirements. Now underline the word here, service capabilities. What is the service capable? Means whatever the, if I want to achieve my goal, means I want the output of my particular project. Assume, for example, you will take air pollution project, or you can take any project. Now, in an air pollution project, what is my final output is what are the components, that is either carbon monoxide or methane or alcohol. What are my parameters? How it's varying in one particular area that I want to study, and I want to know that how much air pollution is occurring. Assume this is a one particular thing. So this is my application here. What actually to say M2M application. The main application logic that uses the service capabilities to achieve the system. What is service capabilities? What's the services I'm going to use? To achieve that, I'm going to get a service of my board. That is, for example, Raspberry Pi, Arduino board, whatever is there. I'm getting a service. What is the service capabilities of that? For example, sensor. I need a MQ6 or MQ135 I need. So what is the service capabilities of that? So how that particular sensor will work. So I need a service capabilities of each and every component what is there in my particular project, combining all these service capabilities where I'm solving my system requirements. So in this way, service capabilities will play a very much important role. The application logic can be deployed on a device. As I have told you that the application logic, whatever is there, you have to decide in your project where my application logic should be there. That means, for example, I will tell you that application logic when it comes to the device, for example, I will tell you, I want to switch on the motor. So if I want to switch on the motor, actually I have to write a code in a device. That is, if my master level is so and so, or if some person press a button through a mobile, so I should, for that I will write a code. I should run this particular day. How in the agricultural project, in the Murgesh project, how they have did. Even the human being also can interrupt and they can switch on the motor manually from an app. So this can be done, means that is you should write the code, or you should deploy that in a device. Why? Because the device is the one which is connected to an actuator as well as in a moisture level sensor, wherever your data may be going. In sometimes you need to the application logic should be put in a gateway. What is this gateway? While going to the network, I need only the threshold value should go to the network. I will write the code there. So what's the code I will write there? You filter whatever the things is there in this particular cloud. Don't send that data to the outside. So network or a network application, that is NA. So in a network application, as I told you, that app, whatever we are using and all, there itself I will filter some particular things. I can send a thing. Like this, depending on your project, you can decide how you can do. The SCL is a collection of functions that are exposed through the open interfaces or reference points. So what is this reference points? You can see here. This is a reference points, that is MLA, DLA, and MLD. Actually, to say, I can't say like this, means the words what I'm telling. This I can say it's a bar. You consider it's a or symbol or a pipe symbol if you consider. That's better, I can say, rather than an L. So MA, you consider like that. DA, you consider like that. MD, you consider like this. So if you consider these things in that way, I'll tell you why they have used this particular things. Now coming to here, because the main topology entities that SCL can deploy are the device, gateway, and the network domain. There are three types of SCL, that is device service capabilities. Now I think you can back here. This is meant for a device, and device service capabilities, and GSL, gateway service capabilities will be there, and NCSL, that is network service capability layer. Now entire layers which we are going to take, and how these layers will be depending on each other. That is, you can see with like this device and then a the gateway, and as well as a gateway means the network model, whatever will be there, that with a device. So in each the ways how the comparing you can do. Now you see this particular thing, the SCL, that is service capabilities layer, whatever is there, especially meant for a device, especially meant for a gateway, especially meant for a network. Now coming to the in-depth of this, all the possible service capabilities where X is the network, gateway, and device are shown in this particular figure. N meant for a network, G meant for a gateway, and D meant for a device. Now you can see in this particular figure, you can observe how means the main figure, whatever is there, in depth I am going now here, and you can see how this particular services which you can take into the considerations. Now gateways. So different types of the gateways types and all you can use here based on your requirements. Like I need a GPS, I need the SIM means GPRS, I need, you need a Wi-Fi, like that you can have. And then it's in a device management. You can see based on a device how it is taking the device services into the consideration. So now device is there here, the device, different types of devices, how devices can be connected, finally device service capabilities. Now you come to your network, how different types of networks will be there here, application enablement, generic communication is there, reachability, addressing, and repository. All these service capabilities must be done compulsorily. When you come to the gateway, gateway must do all these services. When you come to the device, your device must do all these services. When you come to the network domain, all network domain must do all these particular services. When you go in depth on this particular services, you can see here application enablement. So application enablement, I will call it as an XAE. So X can be either where X is a network, gateway, and device. Either way, means anything you can consider here. So in a generalization, I'm going to tell you like this, that is the XAE application enablement. That means where you can do application enablement, you can do application enablement in your device, as well as in your network, as well as in your gateway. So it depends on your project requirement. Now coming to this particular thing, the XAE service capability is an application facing functionality and typically provides the implementation of the respective interface. So what is this? It needs, whenever you are deploying some logic into somewhere, definitely you need an interface to connect with other particular things. For example, APIs, which plays a very much important role. Now coming to the next thing, you can see the interface, that is NAE. Two interfaces which you can use, NAE, that is network application, this one, enablement. So implements the MA interface, and the GAE and the DAE implement the DA interface. So what is this? MA interfaces means using a network, how you are going to connect with an application from a device. So that particular thing, from here your machine is there, and here your application is there. From machine and application, how you are going to connect. For that you need a network, otherwise you can't connect. For example, one example I will tell you. Assume that my device is there, my machine is there somewhere else. Best example, you take air pollution. I will keep a node in somewhere like in a street or some area like that. Okay, and assume that my cloud is there somewhere else, and my system server is there in BMSIT college. In around Bangalore, I have kept some particular nodes, and I want to do the survey how an air pollution is occurring. For this, my machine is there and application is there somewhere. So between, I need a network to be connected to that. That is very much important. Now coming to the next thing is the GAE and DAE implement the device and as well as an application. What do you mean by here? The gateway application enablement and device application enablement, especially we are following the this particular thing. That is the devices, whatever is there, that we are going to take, and application. Now, for example, I am no productions here, nothing is here. Now, in a air pollution project, we need like that. Assume that I want to switch on my motor with my master level sensor. Now, this is the best example for your gateway as well as an device management. Wherever you will keep the data, I will keep a data in a cloud. Okay, you keep a data in a cloud, not a problem. But your pump and moisture both are connected to the device. That is very much important. So from wherever you are bringing a data, whatever you are doing, your application logic will execute in device or either in a gateway. Getting my point? So based on the value, whatever you are sending from a cloud, here if you take a mortgage project, two things will be there. Based on a moisture level, automatically the motor will switch off and switch on automatically based on a dryness of that particular moisture level. So this is one way which we have seen and all. What is the another way also? That's the best example for a device application enablement. So based on a master level, automatically you switch on your motor. The logic is written definitely in a device. So that is DA. Now coming to the another thing, that is the gateway. What is the gateway here? Manual interruption of a human being to switch off and switch on the motor. That is, he will be somewhere else and he want to switch on and switch off the motor, means the data should come from the cloud. Okay, wherever it is coming, whatever it's coming, it should be catched by a gateway. Why? Because gateway, don't get confusion. Your device, whatever you are using, Raspberry Pi and all, both it will be there. For example, Arduino, when you are using a Arduino doesn't have any network directly. For that, you have to use ESP8266 as a Wi-Fi model or any other Wi-Fi model you may need. So the data will come to that Wi-Fi model first, and later on it will comes to the device. So there your application logic will depends on GAE. So that is very much important. The application enablement includes the registration of applications to the respective service, whatever services, either a network services you are using or G services, D services, whatever a service communication layers is there for that. Now another one is there. What is another one type? That is a generic communication. What is this generic communication? The network generic communication is a single point of contact for a communication towards the GSCL and DSCL, that is gateway service capabilities layer and device service capability layers. So in a generic communication, we are going to use these two things, and these two service capabilities will be adaptable. It provides the transport session establishment and negotiation of a security mechanisms, potentially secure transmission of messages and reporting of errors such as transmission errors. When you deal with these two particular things and you are going to use a generic way of a communication, the main problem will arise that is the transport session. What you are doing means the establishment of a connection between a device and that particular application. So negotiation of security mechanisms will be there, and it's thrown for an errors always. Coming to the next thing, that is the reachability, addressing, and repository, that is RAR. RAR, when you see in terms of network, gateway, and a device, that is reachability, either your device is reachable or not, either your network is reachable or not, either your gateway is reachable or not. Addressing, how I can address in this entire world, how I can address my particular device, what method I can use to address that or address a gateway like that. And repository means what data I should keep for authentication purpose or some identifying purpose and all. So that will be there. For this particular things, this is one of the main service capabilities of the ETSI M2M architecture. So that is the N network RAR hosts the mappings of M2M devices and gateways names to a reachability information, routable address information such as IP address and reachability status of the device such as up or down. This is very much important. That means entire your device, whatever is there, or your gateway, whatever is there, it will be identified by an IP address allocation. Means one IP address will be given to your device. Whether it's a Arduino, means whatever ESP8266 or Raspberry Pi or Node MCU, whatever you may be using. For that, so this is a one particular thing, means IP address will be given and it will be taken. How the status will be checked, either reachable or not, whether it is up or down. That is also very much important. That is either pinging is done or not. So how we will see whether a system is dead or not. A ping message will be sent always, and we'll check whether that particular node is alive or not. Like that, the first ping will be sent, and then up or down will be there. And scheduling the information relationship for that particular thing. Coming to the next thing, all the possible service capabilities in this again, communication selection. So how communication selection? What way of communication we should select and which communication we should select? That is very much important in a IoT projects. So this capability allows each XSCL, that is either it can be a network service layer, capability layer, or gateway community layer, or device, to select the best possible communication network where there is a more than one choice, or when the possible communication network, when there is when the current choice becomes unavailable due to the communication errors. Now, especially this is very much important in any IoT project. If this type of a communication gets stopped, so either my entire project will be stopped there. So what else way I can, my devices can communicate with each other, or what else way my device can come? In all our 27 projects, we are going with the one particular way. Now, assume I may use a Wi-Fi model, I may use a GPRS, whatever thing I am using. Assume that particular communication setup has been failed. Then what's the other way where I can communicate? So this is very much important while doing a real-time projects. Why? Because when you are giving a project to a customer, means if one particular way of communication fails, there should be other way of communication. It can be identified and it can be communicated. For that, what we can do? So that things should be there. You should be taken while selecting an communication. When there is a choices for you for multiple communications. For example, GPRS also I will use, and I will use the other way, that is a cloud also I am using. App I am using to operate the things and all. Assume that your app connection or GPS connection has been filed. Let GPRS will work. So depends on that particular thing. Then remote entity management. So that is in a remote entity management means how remotely you can manage your machine and all. The network remote management or entity management provides some management capabilities such as configuration management (CM) for M2M devices and gateways. How I can configure my particular device in a network. So how I can identify that what are the things one can access from my particular device based on a user. Can I restrict the user to access only this much data from my device, not a full extent. So like this, depending on a project, it will be of different ways to handle the particular device or on a gateway. For M2M devices and gateways, installs the management objects in device and gateway, collects the performance management. What is this performance management? My expectation of a performance of my device or on a gateway is this much. Either it's performing fully, either I'm getting an output in a full extent. So if I'm not getting how to improve the performance of that particular device, so how many sensors, whether the sensors working parallelly or not. So all these things will come in this particular performance management and a fault management. This is a very much important fault data management. Either whatever data I'm getting, it's a correct data. Why? Because data it's not given by human being. Human being is a thinking person and he can judge. Yes, this is the thing whether you can take or not. But here we are with the devices always. So either whatever data it's giving from an environment, my sensor, it is correct or not. How I can know that? So for that I need a fault management. So in this, there will be some validation process I will use, and I will adapt some particular filterization. Can I adapt it based on a project what the particular person is doing, and provides them to the NA or M2M management functions, performs the device management to M2M devices and gateways such as firmware and software. So to handle this particular gateways or M2M devices, you can have an firmware you can have or a software. Using the software also you can do the validations and managements you can do. So in this way you can configure the device configuration as well as an M2M area network configuration also you can do. Coming to the next, security. This is another one very important service capabilities which you must have in all this network, gateway, and device. All three should be securitized. Why? Because the hacking can be done in any layer or any particular hierarchy. So these capabilities provide a security mechanism such as M2M service bootstrap, key management, mutual authentication, and key agreement. All these things which we have shown potential platform integrity mechanisms. So what I will do, best example I will tell you. When my machine wants to communicate with another machine, I will apply RSA. Sorry, I will apply RSA algorithm to connect from one device to the another device. I am going to apply that. That RSA algorithm, if I will apply, mutual authentication must be there, and key agreement must be there, and key management. For a key management and all Amundsen algorithms or key management algorithms I will apply and I will do in my particular project. That means a security system I will put in this particular entire IoT project. History and data retentions. What is this? This is another one thing. What about previous data? How much time I should keep that data? That is, either in network, how much time I should keep data, either in gateway, how much time I should keep data, either in device, how much time I should keep the data, retentions I should do. So for this particular capabilities, it should be deployed on a policies or operator policies. Until this particular program gets execution, the data should be there in device. Afterwards, the data should go to gateway. After in a gateway, I will apply some filtering and all. After that, the data shouldn't be there. I don't need the data there in a gateway. If definitely it should go and store in a somewhere else. That's a cloud somewhere else. That means I don't want a data in either to stay in my device. Like that. It depends. It depends the data retention based on a project. So transaction management, that is this type of a services, this set of capabilities is optional and provides the support for automatic transactions of multiple operations. So it depends whether you can take a transaction management or not. At this particular time, what happened? So that's the one thing. Propagation of a request to a number of recipients. So I want to broadcast, I want to send some emergency EMU messages to all the recipients. Collection of responses from them. So I want to collect a feedback from them. So that commitment or a rollback, whether all these transactions either required or not. When it all comes in a automated system, that is very much important. So if you are in an IoT project, so everything should be adapted here as a transaction management. Next, coming to the compensation broker. What is this? So this capability is optional and provides a support for brokering M2M related requests and compensation between a customer and a service provider. So what is this? A third party interference. I need a third party interference in my particular project. Yes, I need. So what is the brokerages I should give to him? So, for example, assume that now we are all using the cloud technology, whatever is there in a free. We doesn't have any idea about brokeraging and all. For example, assume my project is successful and I've given to one particular company. Now, company has launched the project. Now here, either the service provider will give some brokerage to the broker, the third party, either customer should give. What is the percentage of the money they should give to each, means the third party? So this is called as an brokerage. For that, how much work from customer side it is going to do, means how much the customer is using that cloud or some space, then how much the service provider is using. Depending on that, the distribution of a brokerage will be there. So then telco operator exposure, that is NOTOE. So this is also an optional capability and provides exposure for the core network service offered by a telecom network operator. So now here telecom network operator who is giving a support to you and all, for him, how you should know whether you are connecting with a device and all. So this is an optional means which you can take or not. Usually no one will use this particular thing. Always the telecom operator will become a third party. So internet working proxy. This capability is an optional capability and provides a mechanism of connecting, sorry, non-ETSI M2M devices and gateways to the ETSI. For example, ETSI architecture, my project is based on non-ETSI architecture projects will be there. To connect them in between, we need a proxy. Why? Because the standard of this project is different and the standard of that project is different. To connect that, we need a proxy always. Coming to the next thing, that is what do you mean by actually the M and A? This is the interface between a network application and the network service capabilities, that is M and A. So layer, the procedures supported by this interface are a registration of a network application to the NSCL, that is request to write information, or to the network itself, or gateway, or device. Request for device management actions. What is DLA? That is, this is the interface between a device application, as I told you, device application, and the device or a gateway. It depends. Both means either device is connected with the application or not. Here network with application. So that is. Now coming to here next. This is the interface between the network service capabilities and gateway or device. The procedures supported by this interface are registration of a device gateway SCL to the NSCL. That is, this M and D, it's meant with network with the devices always. Whatever network service capabilities which you are going to take with the gateway and devices. So that is MLD. Now, coming in depth of this, the ETSI M2M architecture assumes that the applications DA, GA, and NA, this you know this is a device and gateway and a network. Exchange information with the service capability layers by performing CRUD. What is this? CRUD, create, read, update, delete operations. This is must on a number of resources following the RESTful architecture. That is, what is this REST? Representational state transfer will be taken into the consideration. So these are the important things in this particular architecture and resource management. Coming to the next, that is International Telecommunication Union telecommunication sector view in state of art. That is another one, ITUT. In this, how the IoT architecture will be there. So this particular architecture we'll discuss in a coming class. So after this state of architecture of this one, we'll directly go to the reference model and architecture. So there in a reference model architecture, we can discuss how this reference model and works, still functional requirement. Another 2, 3 topics is there in this. Means I need another 3 hours in this particular 3 to 4 hours to complete this particular unit. And fifth unit is damn very simple. That is very small unit which you can complete. Not any issues. So just I'll stop the sharing. Yeah. Back here. Now you can see. Harsha, attendance submit. So that is one particular thing. I will take attendance. Just a minute. Any doubts is there? It's open for discussion now. Any doubts is there in ETSI reference model, high level reference model and resource management? You can ask me the questions. Any doubts is there? Definitely one question will be there. Either one question, either on the ITU, IoT architecture, it will be there. Either on state of art, one question will be there. Either on ETSI, one question will be there. So definitely, so both are important. So ETSI, it's asked for 2 to 3 times. But ITU is asked only for one time. So that is the chances of getting a question. So they will ask you, explain ETSI referential architecture for M2M and IoT in detail with a block diagram. So you have to write these 2 diagrams and you have to explain all the service capabilities, how I told one by one, and all you have to explain. Not like what I told in depth. Almost all my PPTs are having a in-depth information to you. As a notes and all, you can follow the PPT. It's a very good material, I think, for you what I have put. Why? Because I will read entire textbook once, whichever points are very important. I will take that points from a textbook and I will put that in a PPT. So PPT is enough for you to read as a notes. That much if you write, it's enough. Almost all. It will be there in that. Okay. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಶಶಿನ್ ಕೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸಾರಿ just 2 minutes. I'm doing class in seminar all today. And anybody having a plans to come for offline class? ಮಾತಾಡಿಯಪ್ಪ.
Yes, sir.
ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು?
Sir, Naina.
ನೈನಾ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಬರ್ತೀಯ ನೈನಾ?
Sir, next week, sir. ಅದು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಹೌದಾ?
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಗೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್? ಏಯ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ? IoT ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಾದ್ರೂ ಬರಲ್ವಾ? ಪೂರ್ವ
Yes, sir.
ಊರಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಬರೋ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
Sir, ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ sir.
ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಂಗನ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗಮ್ಮ?
ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ.
ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ IoT ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ?
ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ್ಲೂ ಏನಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಆಗಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಮಿನಿಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾಲೆಂಡರ್ ತೆಗಿಯಮ್ಮ. ತೆಗೆದ ನವೆಂಬರ್ 3rd ಇಂದ ಯಾವ ಡೇಟ್ ಹೇಳು?
November 3rd.
ಯಾವ ದಿನ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನವೆಂಬರ್ 3rd?
November Thursday.
ಇಲ್ಲ. 4th
Wednesday.
ವೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
Thursday. 5th.
5th ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. 5th ನಾನು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. 5th
That class ಅದು attendance ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅದೇ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ. 2 classes I have not put attendance, right? Anybody can remember me? ಅಪೂರ್ವ?
Yes, sir.
ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದಮ್ಮ?
Last week, Wednesday and Thursday ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು?
Yes, sir.
ಸೊ 5th ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ? ಅಲ್ಲ 5th ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ. 5th 6th 7th ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. 8th ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡು. 8th is Sunday. ಸೊ 9th ಮಂಡೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. 10th ಟ್ಯೂಸ್ಡೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 11th ವೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ಡೇ ಅಗೇನ್. ಸೊ 11th ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಸರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 12th ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 11th ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸು ಅಂತ. ಫ್ರೈಡೇ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ 13th ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೇ ರಜಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. 2 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿಡು. ಆಯ್ತು. ಇವತ್ತು ಡೇಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು?
ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದು 18th.
18/11. Yeah, answer your attendance. Aditya, Ajay,
Yes, sir.
Amit, Antima,
Present, sir.
Apurva,
Present, sir.
Ashwini, Bindu,
Yes, sir.
Divyesh, Gaurish, Gautami,
Present, sir.
Gunashekar,
Present, sir.
Harini,
Present, sir.
Surya,
Present, sir.
Surya present. Naina,
Present, sir.
Nazma,
Present, sir.
Nidhi,
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆದ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು. ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ರಾಜೇಶ್,
Present, sir.
ಯಾ ಸಹದೇವ್,
Present, sir.
ಸಾಕೇತ್, ಸಂತೋಷ್,
Yes, sir.
ಸೀಮಾ,
Yes, sir.
Pradeep, sir.
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂದ ಕಳ್ಳ?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗೆ ತೋರ್ಸಿತ್ತು ಅದು
ಪ್ರದೀಪ್
Sir.
ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೆಂಗ ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳ್ತೀಯಾ?
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್, ಬಿಡ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ.
ಏನು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕರೋನಾ ತಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ? ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಏನ
ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಸರಿ. ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಸಿಂಚನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾಳಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಶಶಾಂಕ್,
Present, sir.
ವರ್ಷ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ ನೀನು? ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್. ಯಶಸ್ವಿನಿ,
Present, sir.
ಅಮೃತ, ಅನುಷಾ,
Present, sir.
ಅಪೂರ್ವ ಕೆ,
Present, sir.
ಸಾಯಿ, ಚೇತನ,
Present, sir.
ಕಾವ್ಯ,
Present, sir.
ಮಧುಶ್ರೀ,
Sir.
ಮನೀಶ್,
Present, sir.
ಸರ್ಫರಾಜ್,
ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಸರ್.
ಮುರುಗೇಶ್,
Present, sir.
ಮಣಿ,
Present, sir.
ಪರೇಶ್,
Present, sir.
ಪೂಜಾ,
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್,
Present, sir.
ಪ್ರತಿಭಾ. ಈ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಬಹಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರತೀಕ್, ಪ್ರತೀಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಾಧನಾ,
Present, sir.
ಶಶಾಂಕ್,
ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಸರ್.
ಏನೋ ಇವಾಗ ಎದ್ದಂಗಿದ್ಯಾ? ಬಾಯ್ ತೊಳ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಬಾಯ್ ತೊಳ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ?
ಸರ್ ಎದ್ದು 2 ವಾರ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ,
Present, sir.
ಶ್ರೀಧರ್,
Present, sir.
ತನೋಜ್.
Present, sir.
ಯಾಕೋ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ? ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ.
ಅವನು ಇವಾಗ ಎದ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಸರ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲುಜ್ಜಿ ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಹಂಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
ಏನ್ ಸರ್?
ಅಲ್ಲುಜ್ಜಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮುಖ ತೊಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಹಂಗೆ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಾ? ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬ. ಓಹೋ ಹೋ ಹೋ. ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಿ.
Present, sir.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಅನಿ.
Present, sir.
ಆಶೀಶ್, ಆಶೀಶ್ ಇವನೊಬ್ಬ. ವಿದ್ಯಾ,
Present, sir.
ವಿಶಾಲ್.
Present, sir.
Okay, add up the features to the project. Don't forget, start doing a report. Today within afternoon, I'll send you a report copy in a WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you. Just I'll stop the recording.